Dating online brings up concerns of identity. Captured in Brad Paisley's song Online, people can hide their true selves with the mask of a monitor. More than just a catchy song, this can become a reality for those seeking love online.
I think if you just, if you just put a little faith in that no one's going to lie to you, but I mean, there's always the chance, obviously, that, somebody who says they're 19 and brown hair and blue eyes ends up being like 45-year-old, bald man. So just a chance you have to take.
I mean, how often are you going to go online and find somebody saying, I'm an emotionally decrepit individual, I have alcohol problems, you might not want to get involved with me because I have 7 different kids from 6 different fathers. We're always going to put our best face forward.
If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So if someone says, yes, I'm a CEO of a big company, I make $500,000 a month, and probably like, you work in a bike shop, don't you?
It's good to have a healthy grasp of the fact that people misrepresent themselves.
Fred from Glendale put a picture up of Channing Tatum instead of himself. It's just wrong.
And some people put up pictures that are not what they look like. Oh my God, so there's some scary stuff out there.
Saw this guy's picture on, on the website, and he wasn't a bad-looking guy. He wasn't somebody, like to get googly-eyed over, but seemed like a nice guy. Had a phone conversation, went on a date with him, and I go to meet him, and he didn't look anything like his pictures, and he, gained like 60 pounds.
Kyle, no. These guys are taking the tooliest pictures. It's creepy.
1998's You've Got Mail showed the potential for very different on- and offline personalities.
You've got mail.
In this movie, 2 people who cannot stand each other in real life
I think you discover a lot of things if you really knew me.
If I really knew you, I know what I would find. Instead of a brain, a cash register. Instead of a heart, a bottom line.
end up falling in love anonymously on the computer.
Don't cry, shop girl. Don't cry.
Can people really connect through an internet connection?
The appeal to people who use it is the idea that somehow this is a better way to meet someone you'll be compatible with.
It was just a good option, a great way to, put myself out there a little bit.
I'll just be as honest as possible. So I think the more truthful I am, then the more chance I have at somebody really, liking me and me liking them when we meet finally. So let's hope so.
Sarah is now 1 month into her experience with online dating. We followed up to see if she's found her prince or just a bunch of frogs.
It's been okay. I've gotten several responses from guys, but unfortunately none of them have really been anything that I would actually like to date, to be completely honest. So I'll keep going with it and see if I find someone on the site that I like, but so far results have been nil. One guy called me adorable, which, if you know me, is a completely inaccurate term to describe me, so it sort of put me off from that, Some guys have just literally written hi, and I suppose that's how you're supposed to say hi back and then start a dialogue in that respect, but again, it was like, no. Well, it looks like I just got another hit on my profile from Brian. Let's see, hey, my name is Brian. I got to say I was just going over this site and came upon your profile and had to hit you up. You sexy, if you don't mind me saying. And you seem pretty interesting. I would like to get to know you and see what you all about. Hit me back if you're interested or if you just want to know a cool down ass guy. Later. I think this is probably a pretty good indication of why I have yet to answer any profiles.
Like Sarah, Callie experienced frustration with transitioning online connections into real-life romance.
I think I'd had 5 or 6 dates or so before I met him, and I was kind of, at that point, I'd kind of reached my wit's end. I was done, you know, with all the disappointments, and you go through a lot of that, though, I think, especially, even with regular dating. Online dating is kind of the same.
Meeting offline for the first time presents issues of safety, both physical and emotional.
Now, the vast majority of people that are online are just fine. They're looking for love like anybody else. But all it takes is one. You don't want to be that one.
And actually, the first time I met Joe, I called a girlfriend and I said, I'm going to leave a note on my kitchen table telling you this guy's name, how to find him on eHarmony. And I said, you know, these are the things I know about him. So I was like, if anything happens to me, then that's what you have to go on.
So that's, I think, the hardest part is that initial meeting. Is there something there that feels like it's a possibility?
You're not exactly just meeting people, you know, out of some chat room. It's kind of a systematic dating website. And I'm sure that, like anything, you have to be careful. Even on eHarmony, Match, any of them, I'm sure there's probably crazy people and, you know, dishonest people and evil people that you have to be careful with. But I think you should just take the same precautions like you would take that if you were meeting someone anywhere and going on a first date with them.
We scheduled a date, and it was like the end of my 3-month thing that I was doing, because I was only going to be on there for 3 months. I had kind of made up my mind.
I got there first, and we did a treasure hunt, but I was the treasure.
I walked through the bar and kind of kept my eye out. I kind of had an idea what he looked like because I had a picture, but not everybody turns out to look like their pictures. So, and caught his profile and thought, wow, he's so handsome. So sat down, and we ended up sitting there for 3 hours.
So I think it was the next day after the date, I wanted to see her again. So I told her I asked her if I could come over and see her.
Kind of just clicked right off the bat. So been together ever since.